is the fins on the fish. It's real easy when the fish are small, even middle size, or taking them to a show net to split a fin, damage a fin, you know, break a dorsal, something like this. And this one here, and you'll see the fish that we selected today, Nat, all the finish on the fish is extremely beautiful. None of the bones have been broken. The care has really been given and taken on these fish. And that's something that you have to really watch out for in these, because it's easy as the fish grow, Nat, that fins can curl on the fish, and that's genetics in the fish and that, but with the care that's been taken on these here, these are the champions. These are the big awards of the fish in the show. And we want to thank Vicki for bringing this fish. Yes, mature. A lot of fish in that you see in that, with goldfish in that, there's something that man has contrived with the genetics of the fish and everything. They've been condensed down, they've been elongated, they've got long fins, they've got short fins. Man has done a lot of different things to create fish that you're seeing here today. This one here is an extremely beautiful ranchu. The neat point about this fish is how nice and clean the back is on it, how sharp of a tail cut we have. It's a 45-degree tail. The colors are extremely predominant on this fish. And this is what we call a 7-point ranchu. If you notice, all the fins on this particular fish all have red on them. And that's real hard to achieve in a lot of the ranchus. A lot of times that you'll see they get white fins down here, they may have a red fin here. This one here is a 7-point, and she's got all of her points now all nicely colored. The cheeks are extremely beautiful on this, nice head growth on the fish, and it was presenting itself extremely well today. So we want to thank, again, the owner for bringing this fish here in and making it available. Oh, nice. Very nice. Oh, cool. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right.
And well, I thank Southwest for sponsoring this. I just want to also make sure that everyone knows that this came from Tommy.
All right.
We're going to sandwich these with a couple of others. Middle Georgia.
I'll let this Would you like? No, this isn't the baby, but go ahead. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, I'm Middle Georgia.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
This is a lovely little fish from Vicki, and if you see these telescope eye fish from above, you know that that's how they're meant to be viewed. And this one has just a beautiful little pattern from above, and I was enchanted with that. And it has a lovely black and orange combination. So I thought Vicki might like some more.
That's the volunteer's choice. I voted.
The
And I voted for
volunteers
that one.
award, this is what the volunteers
Good, I
who work
appreciate
the
the
show
vote.
vote on. They're given ballots for goldfish, longfin, and koi, and they go around and look and vote on which ones they like, and we compilate and figure out which one, and this one was won by win. This was the favorite goldfish of all the volunteers. Yeah.
We're in the lights.
This one here not only was a very favorite of the volunteers, it was a favorite of the judges. This fish here almost went up to the reserve champion award for the show, and like I was telling Wynn, the only thing that held it back is if we looked at the anal fins on the fish, they were unbalanced. One was a little bit bigger than the other one, but the beauty of this fish here is that beautiful silver reticulation on the outside edges of the scale, the conformation of the body on the fish, the great head growth on it, and it is so proud. When it stops in the tank, it automatically throws all of its fins out, and it's like it's posing.
Oh.
So it's a wonderful fish.
Let's get a picture of her in front of her.
Vicky, yeah.
All right. You ready?
Thank you.
Okay, a novice that has to qualify to be a novice, your first time showing fish, goldfish or koi or whatever. And so this is won by a novice, and it's, yeah. Very nice fish. Very nice fish.
There you go.
How long have you been raising goldfish or showing?
This is the first time showing.
Showing?
I'm a hobbyist, but I did cross my fish like that as the first time background.
Oh, beautiful.
Again, I kind of talked a little bit about this one here earlier. We presented this one here at the Judges Award. I really, like I say, I really wanted to move this one here up, but it was held back only because of the anal fins on the fish. But I couldn't hold back any longer. So we're gonna present this one here. Liz and I both agreed this is definitely worthy of the Judges Award, and we're very, very thankful that you brought it to the show. Oh, here's the box. Saw that.
Oh, there's the ATM. Oh, there, she's got it.
Again, this is a fish net that received actually a couple of awards in that. On behalf of the American Goldfish Association, we'd like to present the AGA award to this fish also, and thank Gabe for bringing that fish in. Now, this fish is also going to compete on a national level, as well as the grand champion at for the AGA fishing unit also. So. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, Liz.
This is sponsored by Mary Wilson, who is not servicing.
Larry was so kind to let me judge with him today, and was very patient with me and taught me a lot today, and he's allowing me to present the baby grand champion. And this fish, much like the grand champion, presents itself so beautifully. She swims to the edge of the tank and says, "Look at me, I'm gorgeous," and shows the beautiful finnage, how she holds the beautiful dorsal fin. And one thing that Larry talked with me a good bit about today is the colors on this fish. She shows the three different colors beautifully and nice clean lines. There just aren't enough good things you can say about this fish. And so this is our baby brand.
Reserve Grand Champion, sponsored by Brett and Liz Wilson.
This definitely, if you had a chance to go out and check the tanks at the far end of the exhibit area, there was two beautiful Arandas in this particular tank, and this one here, this one here is as close to probably a 100-point Aranda as you can get. The body is absolutely perfect on this fish. It has beautiful head growth. The cheek growth is very full in the fish, and the finnage in that is absolutely outstanding. Again, when we're talking about fish of this size, to transport a fish like this to the show, it's real easy to go through and damage the fins. Even, you know, as small as it is when it's small, rearing the fish up in the ponds with other fish in that, they have a tendency of nipping at one another and things like that. So this one, to be able to obtain this size and this structure on the fish net is very worthy of the owner's keeping on it and how well they take care of it. And I had a chance to talk to the owner about this a little bit, and what was really neat is she's actually reared this from a small fish to get it to the size it is today. So this has got a lot to say about the owner's skill keeping and taking care of goldfish and bringing them to this level. So I have to hand it to her. She's doing a great job. She's on the right path for winning some major awards. Thank her for bringing this fish out and showing it to everybody. Thank you again very, very much.
Both of you move one side or left.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now this is the last one.
This is sponsored by Gay Jones.
Do you want to present?
No, Estimable.net. Husband, and he won't even stand up. He's shy.
Why don't you come up with me? Being the chairman too. You should.
That fish was
And
awesome.
the grand champion of the show is this beautiful Ryukin. Tricolors aren't unusual in that, but what's unusual about this fish here is how striking this fish is. We talk about fish presenting themselves and that's something that you can't train a koi to do or train a goldfish to do. It's something that's genetically in the fish, just like show dogs and that. You can kind of teach them how to stand and things like that, but a fish net you don't do that with. This one here on its own, without any tricks of the trade, so to speak, in that, we have a tendency in the trade net of when we feed our fish in that, sometimes we'll bring a clipboard up to the tank and they'll come up and they'll strut their things. Well, that's kind of, the guys that have been in the hobby for a long time, that's kind of the tricks they do. Well, this owner here didn't know anything about it in that. This fish here on itself, does that. The beauty of this one here again is the finish on the fish. The tail is extremely beautiful and real nice flowing on it. The dorsal fin is real high and erect. All the other fins in that are evenly balanced along with the anal fin on it. It's got a high hump on it. It's got a beautifully shaped, baseball-shaped body to it and that, but the colors are so striking. I mean, it is black. If you look at the stripes in the fin, they're very black. And so this one here is your champion of the show this year. We want to thank you.
That was a cool fish right there. That was a really good fish. That was my pick.
Yeah, I like it when this came from Tom.
Oh.
Last year, so we feel, yeah. Last year.
And then she probably paid $10. No. I'm kidding.
It was 11.
Now Kathy's got to buy a clipboard.
Yeah.
And it's auction time, and I'm going to hand it over to Brett. And Lynn.
No, I'm going to